Today we're going to take a deep dive into my latest single, Shake, which is out now. Go check that out if you haven't heard it already. So yeah, I'm going to take you around the project file. We're going to go from start to end, and I'm going to break it down as I go along. Hopefully you learn something about the way I make it, or you just hear just out of curiosity, and yeah, you'll see the ins and outs on how I made this one.
Shape, 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 shape. Why my girl, we can shape, 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 shape.
So here we go. First thing you'll hear in this, yeah, we got those kind of retro sounding strings there, kind of reminiscent of like the 80s, which is kind of the intention with this one, because I was going for a kind of a Phil Collins Something in the Air kind of intro, which I kind of copied a little bit, let's be honest, right down to the bleepy percussion. Listen. So yeah, went for the kind of power ballad intro approach. So yeah, the strings, what we have, if I unhide the tracks, because as I've explained before, the way I do it, I'll commit to the arrangement, bounce it as an audio region, and then I'll always have the original instrument there kind of hidden away from view, in case if I want to go back and reuse it, or if I have to go back and change something, it's there if I need it. So yeah, that's actually not it, it's this one. And it's the retro synth stop plugin. So if I just unmute these regions, I can show you what that is. Mute that one. So solo that. Yeah, really warm and cozy. And I was just basically just really simply kind of layering, there you go, Solway with a bit of noise, just a tiny bit of dust on there. And then, you know, I've got these vintage reverb and slight bit crushing effects just to kind of dirty up the sound a bit. Yeah. There's that kind of pitch modulation, gives it that warpy tape effect. And the second bit is just the same strings opened up.
Shape.
So it's the same patch, and I'm just basically... yeah, I'll have to reuse that one. I really like that. And then we have the... we've got this underneath it. It's kind of like an ambience effect, kind of texture thing I've got going on. Let's have a listen. So that's a sample, which is called Golden Monkeys Textures Jumping to a Different Branch 1. And I think what I was going for here is, yes, I wanted something really kind of natural sounding, right? So I think I just went on Splice and typed in nature sounds or something, and Golden Monkeys Jumping to a Different Branch kind of had what I was looking for. I think what it is, it's the rustling and the bird noises. You know, when you've got like a quiet, relaxing part to a song, you want to really like calm things down. Bit of texture, a bit of ambience there goes a long way. And then we've got
shape, 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 shape.
Really simple vocal sample. Again, probably off Splice, looks like it. And I've just took the original and just gated out the tail and clip distortion there. So
shape, shape, shape,
put the distortion on.
Shape.
So it's really it's distorting that reverb that came in the sample, and it actually makes it more like a sample, right? Which is what we're going for. Like you'll see with this track, and a lot of my new stuff is a lot of degradation, intentional, digital degradation, and things that add more kind of texture to the track, and it just all builds up subconsciously, and it makes things sound more exciting and rich, right? And for the drop, I think I've got that here.
My girl, we can.
So this wasn't the original vocal, because
My girl, we can.
it says grab my girl we can, but it didn't actually say that because it said something else, and I kind of cut it around and took some of the vocal attacks and kind of made up words. So if we go here,
My girl, we can.
so it's all cut up, right? So you got like
Can go.
but if you listen to this j, so I'll put the j in from something else. If I extend the j,
Get it, that's your why.
you know what I mean? So because there was no g and there was no grab. The grab was not grab, it was another word. It was
That's your why my baby.
y, he says y.
Why my baby been a.
But you put the j and the y together, it sounds like grab
Why my girl, we can.
or grandma girl. But I think the brain kind of fills in the gaps, it makes it sound like grab. So it kind of worked in the end. And yeah, we got so we got the bass drop.
Shake, 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 shake.
So for that, if I just solo that. Again, I believe it is this one. Yeah, Zebra. Oh, I've been loving Zebra for a long time. I do use other plugins for my bass line sometimes, and I'll probably do more videos where you see me use other plugins. But lately, I've just been returning back to Zebra just because of this kind of modular setup where you can kind of parallel process things, and I really like that. So I can kind of layer my oscillators there, then introduce a parallel folding effect. And this is really just, again, it's a simple, I believe it's a sawtooth, and then I am putting a scrambler effect on the waveform. And all the bass lines in this tune are just simply just me messing with the scrambler button. That's it. And then just bouncing it down. And just a ring shifter on that. I've got ring shifters all over the place on this track because I wanted to really go further with that kind of digital interference theme and vibrational theme and modulation and frequencies, and kind of taking it to the next level, because the tune's called Shake, right? And I always think like having a theme helps kind of decide the direction of the tune and some of my decisions. So if you're stuck for like making a decision between 3 or 4 different options, presets or samples, it kind of helps you pick one and pick a direction. So the theme is shake and vibrations and all this. And so it's like, well, if I'm going to look for a way to modulate this bass line, a dirty ring shifter might work. Or if I want to vary it later, we've got this one. Just shake the sound literally with that's the same. Again, it's the same sound scrambled, but I've put a tremolo, and what that does is it just ducks the volume up and down. It's that one there. Yeah, so you can kind of just automate that, but I don't think I did in this one. I think I just liked the 16th pattern. So that pretty much covers those bass lines. Obviously, the main kind of I want to call it. It's not really a bass; it's more of a screech. Is this one? It's I think is a really kind of evil, almost. I think it's a resound. Not that one. Not that one. This one. And it is the same bass patch, but kind of pitched down and extended with the note. And then I've just really turned up the ring modulation, right? So it's. Yeah, because originally I was kind of envisioning that kind of Reese, a classic, something like that. And I felt like, yeah, it'd be good, but I feel like it's kind of been done to death by literally everybody. So what if we instead like crank it up and you get those like overtones? Yeah, it's really dirty. I really like stuff like that. So, and all those bass sounds, including that one, all the bass sounds in this track goes to a bass bus, for the consistency, and everything's kind of processed the same way. And it's just, distortion, EQ. I'm just taking out like all the annoying stuff really, and like the mud and the tops. This spectral gate plays a big part in this tune. It's not just on the bass, it's kind of everywhere, and it's giving this MP3 effect, which you can kind of mix in. It's like an old low quality MP3 effect. So if I turn all this down, I'll show you. It's just, it's just more nastiness layering in there. And again, I use that more in a subtle way with some of the other instruments, like the strings. I actually didn't show you that, but it's on the strings as well. But it plays a bigger part in the end, which I'll get to. So that's that, and then just for more energy, because obviously the track picks up on the second 8. Gotta have some like laser zaps in the background. And that's just me putting a sample, which is this, and just chopping it up in a sampler, which is in fact this sample. It's kind of sliced from this. So I'm taking the boom out of it, but I ended up using the boom for the middle bit. So that's the same zap sample, which is underneath that second 8. They're giving all that energy and hype. All about reusing things where I can. I've said this before. Not only does it make things sound more kind of consistent, it saves time. Do you know what I mean? That I'm not going to just sit here for another hour making a brand new, hype laser that's barely audible in a way, when I've got one right there where I just slice it up and it all kind of sounds together. So and what else we got? Right, so that's that section. What I forgot to show you was the riser, which I really like making risers. And with this one, it wasn't very complicated, but I think it sounds cool nonetheless. Nothing too flashy there. It's just detuned saw waves being pitched bent up, pitched upwards. And it's that combination of like 3 semitones on top of each other that gives that kind of horror effect, as if something kind of evil, like doom is impending, right? And it gives a sense of urgency. and it's just then pitched up, and then I kind of bounced that and faded it in here.
Shape, shape, shape.
Yeah, just fade it in. It's really light effects, just a bit of FM8 doing a lot of work here actually. Hang on. So FM8 has a great effects plugin version, and it's got some brilliant overdrive, tube, distortion, and an amazing delay, which I think I used. So I'm going to show you, that's this one. Yeah, right, so it's literally just saw waves without it. So yeah, one by one. Oh, hold on, let's put that back. So we got, overdrive. Right, so yeah, so overdrive. And then you got the tremolo. Again, like with the frequency vibrations, and then reverb. Like I said, the delay is doing all the work here because it's just a really cool delay plugin. I'm using it as a pitch shifter actually because there's no feedback on it. I'm just changing the pitch. Really spooky, man. And any other tune, I'd probably go more into that kind of automation of the delay. But with this tune, it just didn't need it. Right. So moving on from that side of the tune, it goes down into the breakdown here. Let's have a look.
Shape, shape.
So bringing the strings again, and then using some degradation on the vocal, basically time stretched it with a really bad algorithm in Logic, which gives it this effect. It's just like time stretching done badly on purpose to show the kind of digitalism and the glitch, right? If I'd used a really good algorithm, it would have actually sounded okay and nice, but I wanted it to sound broken. It's snapping straight back into the track, right? So it's as if a kind of a switch has been flipped. And yeah, and then I've just got these beeps. It's more of that urgency. All about the urgency on this one because I just wanted to keep that energy going and going and going. Briefly just cutting out for those 8 bars. And if I show you how I did this, I mean, it is just an LFO on like a wispy kind of squarish wave, I think it would be. No, it's not even. It's a ramp mod, whatever that is, and a triangle kind of feeding into each other. And, so some extreme LFO on the pitch and the intensity of those signals. And, automating a rate. It's almost like Morse code on it. Yeah, really cool sound. And that just evolves. Yeah, really sci-fi and kind of dub sounding as well, because, you know, we are making dubstep just about. I'd actually argue this tune's kind of a mixture of bit of the dubstep 140 and some trap as well. I still like my trap music. Okay, we got I haven't even shown you the beats yet. So the beats is drum machine. Show you that. We got yeah, it's a proper kind of hip hop sounding kit. And if I just show you this bit. So if I show you what's on the drums, yeah, it's just a compressor and some light saturation, some tube saturation. So with this again, it's just keeping that energy going. So I wanted the fast kind of percussion in the background, and I think the maracas just did the job. And we've got these sounds as well. So that's it without the effect, and then I've got the delays in there as a separate channel, just for more control, because whenever something has to be more accurate, and if the delays play an important role like they do there, because the tail needs to be on point and has to carry on long enough, I much rather go in to and dedicate a track to those delays or effects, whatever they are, bounce them out, and then they'll always stay the same. And it means I can also like do you know what I mean? Whereas if it's on the original track, I have to keep playing it from the beginning in order to hear the effect over and over, which is time consuming as well. So for that, it's just random tones. It's just you put a randomizer on the pitch of any instrument, it's gonna sound like mad techno chaos. And all I did, I just played that out for probably about 20 minutes and then picked out my two favourite hits. And so those two hits that you hear in the track are basically, they're drawn from that, like a 15, 20 minute session of just random kind of bleeps. Yeah, Sawtooth, and there's that ramp mod again feeding into that. More chaos. Just kind of really embracing the chaos on this one. And so yeah, we got those. Lots of auto filtering to give it that kind of screechy effect. Yeah. Right then, which brings us to the last bit, and the idea here is, with the track kind of finished at that point, we're at the 2 minute mark. It's a short track, like it's got a short intro, it's got a short middle. It's about just getting in there, just blasting it, high energy, high intensity, and then just cutting it out, which is kind of like the theme of the track, right? And then I like to reward listeners wherever I can. So if somebody's still listening to the tune at this point, because it's pretty intense, rather than just repeat the same idea again, it's nice to introduce something new, reward the listener, and it kind of keeps them engaged, hopefully until the end of the track. So yeah, I like to do that. I like it when other producers do that as well. I love hearing a track and you getting into it, and then just as it's kind of fading, your interest is kind of going, you might skip, then something new comes in, kind of keeps you locked in. Yeah, I love it when people do that. So yeah, I've done it with this one, and I just went straight for a 303 sound because I just couldn't think of anything more cooler than that at the time. But you can't ever go wrong with a 303 in a way. Just use the Logic kind of emulator version, which is the ESM, and some randomization on the filtering and modulation on the filtering as well, just to keep it alive. And I'm automating the filtering to keep the squelches kind of varied. And over time, I layer in some pitch shifting. I layer in a seventh. So again, it's just ramping up the intensity. You've got the standard.
Shake.
And those sevenths just up the ante. And again, it's more kind of variants and more additions to keep people locked into the track. And it creates a nice tail at the end, which is always useful because sometimes when you do just cut out a track, especially the end, can be very jarring. Whereas if you've got things kind of layering out, delaying out, reverbs, whatever, kind of eases the listener into that kind of environment a bit better. We got a return of the Golden Monkeys, which is the same as the intro, but I think I reversed. Yeah, just reversed it. So it's the same after the intro, just reversed. Yeah. And then there's a really cool vocal effect. So it's like a really glitched out delay. And for that, I used a plugin that I've always wanted to use, and I've never really had the opportunity to use it because there's been no tune that needed it. But finally I got to use it. And what it is it's this Permutate plugin by Sonic Charge. And what you can do, so I have no idea actually what it does. I just know when I press these buttons, like crazy stuff happens. So it's actually, the first instance is there. So I can show you this. So it's just madness. And like I said, I don't know what these do. I don't know what these words mean. I just know.
Shape.
I just know when I press them, that happens. And that's how I did it. Thanks for watching. I appreciate all the support and all the feedback you've been giving me lately on all the new music, all the new videos. And yeah, don't forget to go check out Shake, the latest release. That's out now. You can go stream, buy it, whatever you like. And I'll see you at the next one.